Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm participating in the Rustic Wednesday but on Saturday collaboration, which is hosted by my friends Dawn from Shabby Meets Bling and Shelly from Repurpose My Way. Let's get started on DIY number 1. Now I'm going to be using mainly Dollar Tree items today and some wallpaper. So I've had these ornaments for a few years and these little Santa belts just come right off. I'm going to take the buttons off. See, this is already starting to come off. This just rips off. I'm going to strip this down. All right, so I'm going to save all these pieces because you never know when you need them, but I'm going to be using the tops of the ornaments. All right, I'm just going to sand it down just a little bit. I'm going to sand the tops and the sides because I will be painting the sides and the back. So what I'm going to do to the front is I'm going to use that textured wallpaper that looks like old ceiling tin that you can get from Lowe's. And I am just going to be putting this on. I'm actually going to wet it down. It is pre-pasted. Just trying to figure out what design I want on each ornament here. Once I do that, I will draw around it so I can cut out my pattern here. So I'm just going to go around it with a pen. I'm going to do both of them. I think about right there looks good. Maybe down a little bit more. Let's get this one traced around, and then I'm going to cut them out and I will be pasting them to the wood ornaments. You can see it has the pre-pasted back here. You just have to wet it and let it sit for like 5 minutes. All right, now that I've done that and I've let it dry, I am going to be painting these with my plaster color. I will be painting the back side too, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on the sides and the front here. I'm probably going to do a couple coats on each of them. All right, now that they are dry, I'm taking my hammered iron and a dry brush, bristle brush here, and I'm just putting the paint on and taking it off on a piece of paper towel, and then I'm just going to go lightly on here, and we're going to rustic this up a little bit. I like to start out light, and then I can add more if I want to. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more, and then I'll get the other one done, and then I'm going to be painting the ornament tops. All right, now that they're done, I'm going to be taking golden brown, melted chocolate, and maple sugar tan, and we're going to get these looking rusty. So I'm just taking the golden brown first. I'm going to do a couple coats on here, just on the top side. All right, I have 2 coats on here and it's still a little damp, so I'm taking my stencil brush and I'm taking my melted chocolate and I'm dabbing it on. Then I'm also going to be dipping this into the maple sugar tan and adding that. There we go. We're going to put that maple sugar tan on here, and I'm just going to kind of go back and forth with the 2 colors with the same stencil brush until I get the desired look. I have some rusty jingle bells that I want to add on here, and I'm trying to match it the best I can. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Looks rusty. So here is the bell compared to the top. I think I did a pretty good job. And now I'm taking these little mini ornaments that I got from Walmart a few years ago, And I want to use these on top of my Dollar Tree ornaments. So I'm going to take everything off. I will be using the bow later on. I'm going to use that little bit of greenery, but I'm not going to use the little plastic pine cone on there. And I do want to paint the berries a darker red, so I'm just going to use my tomato spice. All right, now I want to go ahead and get the tops glued on. I'm just going to hot glue them on, just to make sure I got lots of hot glue here. And stick it down. Let's get the other one done. Now I don't like that white showing, so I'm just going to take that melted chocolate brown and paint the inside. Got to get that white covered up. I decided not to paint the sides with the brown. I think I just want to keep it with the white. We'll just paint the little hole area here. All right, now I want to add some greenery. This is just a scrap piece of greenery that I have. Got it on first. I'm going to hot glue that little antler on. I'm going to take that other little piece of greenery that was already there. I also have this other little pine cone from a previous piece of a pick, and also that other little piece of greenery. And then I'm going to take my rusty bell here. I'm going to tie it up with some jute. I'm going to add that little bow right there. And I'm going to cut it off just a little bit too long. I also have these little wooden snowflakes that I want to hot glue on right there. And now we're going to attach this on the side right here and have this dangling down. I'll press that down so it will hold. Looks great. Just a little bit more glue. I'm going to pull it up. Had it just a little too long, so we're just going to pull that up just a touch. All right, I want to do one more snowflake, and that's going to be in the greenery area. So I think I'm going to pick one that I like. Got so many to choose from here. I got these little snowflakes from Amazon. I just love these. I will have a link down below in my description box if you're interested. I like to keep them natural, but you can paint them. All right, now I need to have some jute up there to hold the ornament on the tree for the holder. And there is the other one. All right, DIY number 2. Again, I'm going to be using that wallpaper. Now we have a wallpaper theme here. Everything's getting wallpaper. I've already got it on. And I'm just going to take my plaster color paint and get this round painted. Now this is a 12-inch wood round that I got from Amazon. But you can also use the rounds that you get from the Dollar Tree. They're just a little bit smaller. So I'm going to do a couple coats. Make sure everything's covered. This is a little bit different color than the wallpaper. It's more of a bright white. And now that's dry, I'm taking that hammered iron, doing that same technique. All my projects are going to get this same technique, so they will coordinate. And I'm just going to go along the little lines here. You can see there's circles and everything. I'm going to start with that and then do the lines through the circles with the paint. And then kind of dab here on the little flower design. Again, I like to do it lightly, and then I can go back over it darker in spots that I feel it needs to be a little bit darker. All right, now I have it to the desired look, and I want to put like a little banner going across here, but more on an angle. And what I'm going to do is use this ribbon that I have. I really wanted it wider because I want to put this Merry Christmas in here and have some. So I'm just going to use 2 pieces of my plaid ribbon, and then I'll put this Merry Christmas in the middle of it. I'm just going to get my links cut off here. And this is wired ribbon, so I'm going to be cutting off the wired part. I don't need that. Not on the plaid. We'll leave it on the other one. Just take it off the plaid, and then I'm going to ravel it up. Let's go ahead and do this other one. Okay. And do the same. Just going to pull some of the string down. So I think I'm going to put it like that and then put the Merry Christmas like so. So I went ahead and cut some of that other ribbon off. Now I'm just going to hot glue this down. Just going to do a little section at a time. And I am having this on a little bit of a diagonal. And get this last little piece here. I'm going to cut off the excess. And then I'm going to hot glue the other piece on. All right, now that everything is glued on, I'm going to take the Merry Christmas ribbon and try to even it up as much as possible. I'm going to glue it down. And I am going to pull that over on the side. I think that will look nicer, just to have a little bit of it wrapped around on the back. Let's get this all tacked down. Okay. Get the last little section. I'm going to cut a little bit off. I don't want all of this hanging on the back, just a little bit. Get that glued down. There we go. And let's do the other side. And I will also be putting a little hanger on the back here so this can hang up. All right, now I have some more of that ribbon, and I have some lace, I have some raffia, and this is some of that creepy fabric in that cream color, you know, used for Halloween. I think this looks kind of cool to use. Just want to cut a little bit of it. Okay. Get that piece there. Perfect. I'm going to be making a messy bow with all of this. It's going to alternate. There we go. And I'll be taking a piece of wire and wiring this all together. And I think I want to put it just about this area here, I think. I want to put some of this creepy fabric in there too. Kind of play with this a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and get this wired up so I can get it hot glued on. So I'm just going to do layers here. So the first thing is my bow. Okay. Let's kind of tweak it a little bit. Now I'm going to glue it on. And my next layer is some of this raffia. I'm just going to tie it in a knot and scrunch up the sides. Just going to hot glue it to the center of the bow. And it's a little too long, so I'm going to, whoops, came off. It didn't stick yet. I'm going to get that stuck on there. Let's push it down harder. There we go. Okay, and my next layer is a little bit of that creepy fabric. I like the color of it. I'm going to knot it too. Let's make a little knot here. Maybe. Maybe not. How about we just do this? Let's kind of pull it out and just... There we go. I like that better. Yeah. Let's kind of do it in a little X here. Just get that glued down real quick. And then we'll get the other piece on. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. Tweak it a little bit here. Now I got my next layer to do, and that is some of my greenery. Get it glued on. One piece on each side. Just kind of move this fabric around a little bit. And get the other piece glued down. Alright, now I have a little rusty type jingle bell here. It's a little ornament. Not too rusty, but it's brown. I like it. It's going to hot glue it right there. And then I'm going to add some berries and some pine cones. Okay, how about we put that pine cone right there. And this one down there. Okay, perfect. And there is my little sign. Perfect. Now, DIY number 3, and it is the last DIY. Another Dollar Tree item. This is those little sparkly reindeers. I actually bought 2 of these last year. And haven't done anything with them yet, but I'm going to do something now. So got to get this off here. I was going to try to save the ribbon here, maybe. I know I just want to cut it. And get this tag off. There we go. Perfect. Now this is going to get wallpaper on both sides. So I cut out my pattern, and I'm not going to do it for the antlers yet. I did that. I don't know if I want to keep it solid yet. I'm just going to go ahead and Mod Podge this on because of all the glitter on here. I figured it wouldn't hold if I just tried to use the pre-pasted part. So I'm just going to put tons of Mod Podge onto the deer and to the back of the wallpaper. And what I did, so I'm going to have both sides done. So what I ended up doing was putting something on top of this for a couple of days to make sure it dried flat. And here's how it looks now. I did go ahead and cut that out, but of course you have all that glitter on the side, so I'm going to take this jute and I'm going to hot glue it around the whole reindeer. So here's how it turned out, and this is all going to get painted. I haven't painted this yet. I'm going to use my plaster and get everything painted. And I know you get little stringies, from the jute, but if you wait when it's dry, I just took some sandpaper and it came off, so it worked pretty good. It did take quite a bit of paint to cover that jute. Now when it dries, I'm going to be using that hammered iron again and doing that same technique. Like I said, these are all coordinating. I think I'm going to do the reindeer just a little bit darker than the other pieces. And I'm going to make sure that I get the darkest part on the jute area going around for the outline. All right, now that he's dry, I'm going to use that same ribbon that I used on the last. I've got some greenery pieces. I have some ribbon. I have some lace. I'm going to go ahead and put this trim piece around the neck first. Just give him a little collar. Get it hot glued on. And then I'm going to glue some of the greenery on. I don't need that big of a piece. Let's go ahead and put this piece on first. I'm going to cut off one of these. I just want 2 instead of 3. Tack that down a little bit there. Spread it out. Then I'm going to glue this on top like so. And then I'm going to make a little bit of a messy bow here. So I cut up that ribbon pretty thin. I have some other pieces. I have some lace. I have some other pieces of trim here. And I'm just going to tie them up in a knot. And this will get hot glued on top of the greenery. Tie that really tight. These are really thick. I think I'm going to glue it about right there. Just try and get that situated the way I want it. Let's get some glue on it. Put lots of glue. Spread this out a little bit. There we go. And these pieces are just a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut them off just randomly. I think that looks a lot better being shorter like that. Thought they were way too long there, but it's easier to tie a knot with them long. Just kind of spread these out a little bit, cut a few more off. There we go. Now I want to add some berries, just kind of like what I used in the last project. And then I have these little rusty jingle bells. They're like the ones that I used on the ornaments, are just a little bit smaller. I'm going to go ahead and glue that one there. Then I'm going to take a little piece of berry here and put it next to it. And I'm going to take the other bell and put it on the other side of the berry cluster. All right, there we go. And then I need to duplicate this on the other side. Now that I have that done, I have a little stand here. I have this dowel rod here. And I have a 2x4 and I just got a little slit cut in the dowel rod so the reindeer can go on top. And I'm just taking some charcoal. I'm just going to paint this a solid color. So, you know, this reindeer's pretty big. So this is going to be a nice statement if you do it this way, you know, for like a tabletop centerpiece. And I'm not going to do anything else to the base here. I'm just going to paint it and then add the reindeer to it. I think it'd be too much if I put stuff down there. All right, so I have this all glued. It's all done. Like I said, I'm going to leave this plain. I thought about decorating it, but I thought, no, you can use it as a centerpiece. So you might want to put something different down there. But I do need to do something with that dowel rod. So my idea is to put a little band here around the reindeer. I'm going to use this red ribbon. I'm also going to use this lacy trim here. And I'm going to add some jingle bells to it. You know, it's got to have the little sleigh bells going. All right, so I've got the red glued on here. I actually folded a little piece of the ribbon like this. So you have a nice edge, and I just glued it down. Oops, get that out of the way. And then I'm going to glue it onto the reindeer and onto the dowel rod. So now you don't notice that dowel rod as much sticking on there. Then I'm going to do the same thing to the lace trim. I'm going to tuck it a little bit and then glue it on over to the red so you have a little bit of red showing. I like that. Instead of all that red, I like this much better. All right, now that that is done, I need to get the bells glued on. I'm going to put 2 on each side, and I'm going to put 1 on top. Let's go ahead and get 2 of these done real quick. I gotta stick my glue stick back in there. There we go. The only thing I don't like about these rusty bells is that they get the rusty color on your fingers. All right, let's see how all of the projects look together. So here's how the reindeer turned out. I love them. I love this sign, and I love these ornaments. I think they're so cute. All right, my sweet friends, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please be sure to check out everybody's videos. I have the playlist link down below in my description box, along with the host channel links. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.